Welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today. And this week we are all about the males. Here in the UK we are fast approaching Father's Day, so I thought we would bring out a Trusty Tools kit. Now you may recognise this. This was in last year's catalogue and luckily it has transferred over to this year's catalogue. So I thought let's give it another go. We had great fun with it last time, so let's have some fun with it this time. So first of all, let me show you what is in the kit. So you have got, she says, trying to move it. Let's do it that way. Okay, so in the actual stamp set, you've got the sentiments, Happy Father's Day, thank you, Dad, and you're the most awesome. And then we've got a pencil, a paintbrush with an infill, you've got some screws, you've got a hammer, tape measure, and we've got a, I want to say spanner, but I don't think it is. I'd need to ask a technical dad, I think, for that. And then it also comes with these amazing dies. So you've got a pin board, you've got the facilities to make a toolbox, you've got the pencil, you've got the paintbrush, you've got the so these three pieces can make the tape measure, you've got the hammer, you've got a spanner, you've got the nuts and bolts, you've got pincers, you've got, what else have we got? That's the infill for that. Then you've got this wonderful drill. So that is all that comes in the bundle, should you wish to purchase it. But first of all, let's have a look at our card. So it's a simple card for a Monday evening. I hope those that are in the UK have had a wonderful bank holiday. I certainly have. And now it's time for crafting. So we've got a bit of a shadow, so I apologise for that. I'm not quite sure. Let's take the light off and see if that takes away. Oh, it makes it even darker, doesn't it? Let's put the light back on. Okay, we'll stick with that and see what happens. So this is our card. It's a very simple card with an embossing folder effect. So we'll bring in my supplies. So for this card, we have a piece of pumpkin pie that measures 8 inches by 5 3/4. I have a white piece of cardstock, which measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. And I have a piece of white card for the sentiment. Now, this measures 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. And it literally fits straight across on there. So the first thing we need to do is to work on our piece of cardstock. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take each one of the instruments, tools even, and we will build up a picture. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm taking the hammer and I'm going to ink it up in Early Espresso. And we're going to pop that in the middle and then we're going to work around it. So there's the hammer. I'm going to give a hammer at the top and then a hammer head at the bottom. There we go. Perfect. That's that one sorted. Then we can move on to our, I'm going to call it a wrench and hope I'm right. So the wrench is going to go just here. And then I'm going to put one in the opposing corner. Let's do it just about here. Then we can bring in the paintbrush. And that will come across here. And then the top left. Lovely. And then my pencil. Where's my pencil? There's my pencil. So let's have a look. So I'm going to do a long pencil down the side here. And then I'm going to do a pointy pencil across here. There we go. And that's literally everything we need to do in the neutral colour. Now we get to fill them all in. So I'm using 4 colours. So the first one I'm using is Pecan Pie, and I'm going to use that as the tip of the paintbrush. So it looks like I've been using some paint. So let's pop that in. There we go, look at that. And then the same at the top on this one. There, perfect. Right, then we have got pumpkin pie, and that is going to be the handle to the wrench. It'll go down there. Lovely. Then we're going to use the, so we're doing shades of really today. We've got Daffodil Delight for the paintbrush handle. Wonderful. And then last but by no means least, we are using the oh no, so that was Crushed Curry. Apologies, this is Daffodil Delight. And this is the handle for the hammer. And then I'm going to use a stamped off version of the early espresso, and that will give me my pencil. So I'll do ink up my pencil, stamp it off, and then I'm just going to put it down. And there's my pencil. So once you've covered all of that up, you're going to run it through an embossing folder. Now I have the metallic embossing folder that came originally with the kit. It's still available. I checked. It is on the last chance. So it's been reduced. So if you want a bargain, pop over there. So now you can run this through the cut and emboss machine, and it will come back looking like that. And then you can put it straight onto your card base. So I'm going to fold this in half. So if you want to score up 4 inches, there we go. And then that can be popped onto there like so. Making sure, yes, I had this dreadful thought then that I got it upside down and the wrong way around. So there's my glue. So for this, because it is such a bumpy area, I'm going to make sure I do use enough glue to hold it all down. There we go. I'm going to pop that onto my card base. Wiggle around so I'm happy where it is. And then we can use our sentiment. I'm going to use Happy Birthday from the Simply Said, and I'm going to stamp that again up in the early espresso. I'm aiming for it to be central. There we are. And that is going to go up on dimensionals. I'll bring those in. I'm just going to put 3 on, 1 each end and 1 in the middle. Take that one off, and that one off, and that one off. There we go. And this time I'm going to pop it down the bottom. Make sure it just fits all the way across. There we go, like so. Now if you want to, you can add a little bit of bling, which is what I did on the original card. But for this one, I'm not going to stress. I'll put that out of the focus. I do apologise. There we go. Right, so that is our simple card. Now, oh, look. Let's do it that way. That is our simple card. If you wanted to step it up, you could put a border. You could cut the white base down. So this is 3 3/4 by 5.5. So you would cut it down once you stamped it up to 3.5 by 5.25, and then you could put a border around the edge. So you've got 2 versions. You've got the full version and the half version. So thank you ever so much for joining me today. Let me know whether you prefer the full or the half version. I'd love to know your opinions on this. It would be wonderful. Thank you very much. I will be back on Wednesday with a slightly stepped up version. So do join me then, but enjoy yourself for the rest of the day. And I look forward to catching up with you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.